Right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our chat with the experts. Today, we welcome Bharat from AITO. He's actually the head of commercial at AITO. So thank you for joining us, Bharat.
Thanks for having me.
No, it's a pleasure. Well, you've saved us this year. We've certainly, being a member of AITO this year has completely, we understand why we're members, because the
Definitely.
support has been absolutely incredible. So thank you, because we've certainly got hold of you at various times during the day, and especially Natalie. So our first question, I'm going to pass over to Natalie, because we've got 4 questions that have been well thought out. So over to you now.
Thank you. Hi, Bharat. So our first question, how is the travel industry coping through the pandemic?
Now, very well, I think, on the whole. If we dial back to about a year ago, we had a brand new virus, didn't know what the impact was going to be. Really, probably the most severe impact on the industry since travel began, more so than the ash cloud. So we've gone from expecting things to be temporary to complete shutdown of the world. And all the complex tailor-made itineraries that you use, travel agents like you organize, had to be unraveled. So it took a lot of time, lots of firefighting. But as things have calmed down, we've now got new challenges. We've got to look at red corridors, we've got to look at vaccines, we've got to look at testing. So I think the industry is adapting and coping really well. And there's a lot of work that's been done. There's a lot of lessons learned. And it's all for the benefit of customers.
Yeah, no, you're right. The next question is, what are the various sectors of the industry doing to be COVID-19 secure and ready? For example, cruise lines, airlines, hotels.
I think the cruise lines are obviously in the news for the wrong reasons initially. But behind the scenes, they have been probably very proactive in remedying everything and putting protocols in place, working with organizations like the health authorities and various tourism councils. The airlines also, they were probably one of the first to go live with new protocols, such as the space of the check-in, the masks in the aircraft, and we mustn't forget that airline ventilation systems are pretty much operating theatre standard. So fresh air comes from the top and stale air is absorbed from the bottom, and it's recirculated after a lot of filtration. So, and of course, then they also talked about keeping distances on board between passengers, etc. So with the advent on online check-in and all the rest of it, I think they've done quite well. And certainly some people who have managed to travel since the pandemic have said it's the best time to go through the airport.
Yeah, I have, and it was amazing.
Yeah, and hotels, large and small, the large global chains put in protocols straight away. And even if you look at the small independent hotels here in the UK, if you go to any of their websites, they've got all the details of the COVID-19 precautions they're taking, including regular cleaning, deep cleaning, keeping space between rooms, and then not using the same room for 72 hours after a deep clean. All these things, and they are adapting and ongoing. This is not something that they've done and are going to keep, that's it. I think the protocols they put in place are being adapted as things develop to meet the challenges that they're facing. Yeah.
Brilliant. So how and when do you perceive people will be travelling again?
Nat, if I had the answer
Tomorrow.
seriously, I think it is better odds than the lottery, really. No, I think that's something on everybody in our industry has got the same question, regardless of what level of participation they have in the industry. And it's a question we're asking government too, because ultimately it's they who will decide. So we have to accept that public health comes first. And what is happening now, it is drastic, it's draconian, but it's in the interest of public health, so we have to go with it. When do we start thinking it's going to relax? I think it will depend on how effective the vaccines are, and how much of the population here is vaccinated. And we mustn't forget how much of the population in the destinations you're going to, how much are they vaccinated? Are those vaccines going to stop transmission? Because there's 50-50 from the scientists that it does and it doesn't. What's really important with the vaccines is that the worst of the effects of COVID-19 are dealt with. So it doesn't require hospitalization. Now you add that You add the fact that there's all the protocols we've just spoken of with the airlines, the cruise companies, the hotels, and let's not forget, even in the transport, whether you're sitting in a car or a minibus, those guys have been, cleaning everything throughout the last year, more so than ever before. So all of these protocols in place, along with the testing, the vaccines, I'm really personally, I'm hopeful that we will get something happening towards late spring, early summer. Personally, that's my personal opinion. Yeah, I would love to see that, because I think, and your customers,
Yeah.
they are ready to go, really, really. And of course, the ones who've been vaccinated once and perhaps twice will be even more ready to go.
I think there'll be a stampede actually to get out of the country.
Oh, definitely.
I think it'll be a phased, probably UK, Europe, then mid haul, and then long haul. And long haul would probably be one of the last, unless there's an agreement between the countries that the levels have reached a standard where they're accepting visitors from the UK and we're accepting visitors from them.
Yeah, because that's the important bit. So the last question, what insurance cover do clients need to make sure they have in place before they travel?
I think that's very personal, Tricia. It's very personal to each traveler. But if I was going anywhere, and it doesn't matter where, if I was taking any holiday, including in the UK for more than 2 days, you should have travel insurance. And currently, I would look at the fine print of the policy on, if you're worried about COVID-19, then that's what you want to look at. What does it cover you for when you book it, when you're about to travel, and also, perhaps more importantly, when you're there. There are a lot of policies now which will give you cover for COVID-19. We've got pre-departure testing, and you can only travel if it's negative. So if you're traveling when it's negative and the insurance company is happy with that, then they might provide you cover if you do get COVID while you're there. And you have to look at the policy details. What does it cover? Does it include hospitalization for 14 days, quarantine for 14 days? And will they pay to bring you back home? Very important. You can become well, but then be stranded there. My strongest advice is check the fine print, have a conversation with the policy, with the issuer of the policy. No question is silly. It is your life, it is your policy, and it's your cover. So no question is silly. Ask it, get clear advice on it, and if you don't like it, look around.
Yeah, we've always said that insurance is probably massive part of the holiday, and everyone
I cannot stress the importance of it now. With Europe, with the EHIC card going in, there's a global health card has come in. Even with that, that's just for emergencies, in terms of if you're a dialysis patient, you require it while on holiday, they'll give it to you. But travel insurance is just got to be the first thing you do after booking a holiday.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
I agree.
Yeah. We've come to the end of our questions. Any random bit of advice that you want to give us?
Oh, you know what? Just support your local travel agent, because they're the professionals, and I'm absolutely in awe of the amount of knowledge you guys have to have about the world, not just one or two places. You've got Africa there behind you. You've got somewhere exotic behind you, Tricia.
Well, it's the Galapagos. There you go.
There you are. But when a customer comes in and says, I want to go to X destination, they almost expect you to have the answers. And you are the Encyclopedia Britannicas of the travel industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love it. We love to travel. We'll be off before we know it, won't we?
I can't wait to use my passport again.
Bharat, thank you so much for taking the time out of your, I know, hectic days at the moment. So thank you so much.
Always a pleasure for you.
Thank you. And we'll see you soon. Take care.
Brilliant. And we've also got our next instalment will be with Mark Harris from Abercrombie & Kent. So look out for that one.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bharat. Bye.
Bye.